okay, because the last time I tried to do a live, the sound sucked. And just generally the quality wasn't very good, and that kind of put me off doing them for a little while. But I used to so enjoy them, so we'll see. We'll see. A little tidy up of my workspace in front of me while I'm here, while I'm waiting for people to join. Did I even put a title for this? I feel like I didn't put a title. I feel like that didn't come up as an option. No, I don't think I did. Kaylee, when you clicked on this, was there a title? Did it just pick a title for me? I don't know. Hey, Nikki. So there's one specific topic I want to talk about, and I'm really hoping that some of you, hi Caroline, might also be on the same page. How many of us have watched Vanderpump Rules? Please. Because the boys are watching a robot thing downstairs, and Lee loves Vanderpump Rules. Lee was watching Vanderpump. Is this what I think it's about? No, probably not. It's about Vanderpump Rules, Nikki. Yes, it is. I love that that's what you thought it was going to be about. Yes, it is. So the boys are watching a robot thing downstairs, but I do want to be very, very clear that Lee was watching this without me. I got really bored of the show, and then obviously Scandival happened, and I was like, I'm back in. So we caught back up again. And yeah, but because the boys are watching this robot show downstairs, I was like, I'm going to go and get a bath. I'm going to take this time. And then I thought, no, I'm actually going to take this time. Well, just a little chit chat, just a little half an hour. And so I'm really hoping that some of you have actually watched the show, because that's specifically what I want to talk about. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Have you watched Vanderpump Rules? So we finally watched the third of the 3 finales yesterday. Well. In fact, while I'm here, I'm just going to see whether or not I can change the title of this on my computer. The obsession is insane. Insane, Nikki. Insane. Have you actually watched the show? Because I know you've said it's funny that we love it so much, but have you actually seen it? Because if not, you are missing out. And you could start at 8. You don't need to go all the way back to 1. You could start at season 8. Season 8 is kind of, it gives you as much context and information as you need, because they repeat stuff all the time. They go over and over and over again. So you don't need to have watched all 9 seasons to really keep up with what's happening. Right, let me see if I can changed. Ooh, I can. What I really wanted to call it, just from season 8. Oh, Nikki, you need to just like power through. You need to power through. What I really wanted to call the live was Mentioning It All, which is a Bravo. I'm gonna go do it now, and then everyone's gonna be so confused. Which seems like clickbait, but it's not. It's not clickbait. It's not. It's Bethany Frankel reference from Real Housewives of New York. But it's in the same Bravo universe. It's so fantastic. It's so fantastic. I think the reason that I stopped watching it however many years ago, Lee continued to watch it while he did his ironing. That is the man I'm married to. We first bonded over our love of reality TV. But I think I dropped off because everyone was like young and annoying, and everything just seemed so inconsequential. And now they're kind of all nearing 40. And I don't know, there's a bit more weight to those choices that they're making, and the mistakes have a little more gravity, you know? It all feels like the stakes are a little bit higher. And so, yeah, I would highly recommend that you go back to the beginning of season 8. Back to the beginning of it's plenty. And then you'll really appreciate what the rest of the Bravo loving world have just been going through with Scandival. So to just clue you in, I saw a really great analogy of this on Instagram, that someone was saying this is how they were explaining it to their friends and family that don't watch it. And they're like, oh my God, you know, you've got to watch this show. And no one's going to go back 5-10 seasons and watch a show just so that they can understand the gossip. But the great analogy that I saw was, imagine on Friends if you found out that Chandler and Rachel had been having an affair for 7 months under everyone's noses. Joey knew the whole time, and Monica just found out. And imagine she found out by picking up Chandler's phone randomly, like, and just being like, do you know, maybe I should looking in his camera roll and finding a screen recording of an intimate FaceTime call. Imagine that would be the way she found out. Horrific. No, I've never seen Real Housewives of Chester. I don't watch a lot of English reality TV. I like English drama, English comedy stuff, but I don't watch a lot of English reality TV, and I've come to the conclusion that this is because I don't think of American people as real people, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but because we watch a lot of American TV, I think when we watch American reality TV, they all kind of seem like characters, just like caricatures of people. And so when I watch something, let's say if I watched an episode of Love Island, I'd find it a lot more uncomfortable to watch, like a lot more cringy, because they feel like real people, and I'd be like, oh my God, that person's got to go back home and like have a normal job, and their family their family saw this. I see it more in like as them as fully fledged people, and I kind of find it a bit, oh God, it's not comfortable for me to watch English people on reality TV and go, oh my God, what an idiot. That's, I don't know. Whereas Americans, it just feels fake, whether it is or not. I'm sure all reality TV is fake to it. It's a produced show, regardless. But I don't feel as guilty for being like, for laughing at their pain, because that's effectively what we're doing. We're not better than them. We're not better than them. So yeah, back to the Scandival. So the reason it's called Scandival is the main perpetrator of these acts, the cheater in this whole scenario is called Tom Sandoval. Now there are two people called Tom. I know, stay with me. But one of them is kind of like a dopey, can't make any decisions for himself, kind of like a lovable, he means well type of thing. Kardashians I love, yeah, absolutely. Although I haven't seen any of the Disney show. Yeah, he's kind of like a, just, he doesn't know what he's doing type of person. And you kind of see him as like an overgrown child. And then the other one, who's like his best friend, always to me was like, I don't understand why people like him. He's not, in my mind, he's not attractive. He is, I don't get it. I don't understand. He must have a real charm in real life. Like some people they've just got it. They can just switch it on. He must have that, because I don't get it. But he was cheating left and right at the beginning of the series, 10 years ago. So I don't know why anybody's surprised now. But he was always kind of like a bit of a slimy kind of guy to me. And he was going out with this girl called Ariana. They've been together for 9 years. And there was this new person that entered into the group a few years ago. She was then engaged to one of the main people in the group. They then broke up last year, and she subsequently started having sex with the slimy Tom. Under everybody else's nose, she's trying to be friends with the girls. She's trying to be in with the group. Well, nobody knew. Then you watch back the series and you're like, people knew. People definitely suspected. Then you find out that the puppy dog, Tom, who really is not such a puppy dog, and is not he doesn't know what he's doing, because he completely knew what he was doing, who's recently got divorced, and you go, oh, I feel really bad for him. And now I'm thinking, no, I don't know if I do, because he's probably just been absolutely horrific to live with, because he just generally doesn't seem like he can make any definitive decision for himself, and he just kind of goes along with things, and then he's annoyed when people don't, feel bad for him when things go wrong. So this guy knew the whole time, and he's gone back and forth about, well, I only knew it this time, I only knew it that time. And so that's obviously fractured the group. This girl who was friends with the partner of the person she was sleeping with, friends with all of these other people, also was kissing the puppy dog Tom, much to the upset of the rest of the group, and the puppy dog Tom's ex-wife, who was also in the group. And specifically, she was like, please don't do this, we're friends, this would make me uncomfortable. And she was like, yeah, I think, I've kind of got feelings for him, but it's just a bit of fun. Why would you say this to his ex-wife directly? His ex-wife who you want to be friends with. And then she specifically, the ex-wife to puppy dog Tom, said, just don't do it in the friend group. Just literally, I get it. We're getting divorced. She instigated it. It's what it is. But just keep it away from the friend group so I don't have to see it. That's fair enough. And he's like, well, I think, just for fun, I think we should kiss. No, puppy dog Tom, not such a puppy dog at all. And it was so uncomfortable. It kind of looked like she was kissing someone's dad. Not cute. And now we find out that she was already sleeping with Slimy Tom. And this clearly was all just a misdirect. Look over here, look over here. Don't look over here because I'm really having sex with this guy. But this guy, horrible, 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 horrible. So we come to the reunion, which all Bravo fans know is the very, very most amazing part. It's the reason to watch the shows. I kind of dropped off with some Bravo shows and specifically, what is it called? Below Deck. Loved Below Deck. But I dropped off when they stopped doing the reunions in COVID because I don't want to watch an entire, the whole time I'm watching the show, I'm saying to Blake, I can't wait. Cannot wait to see what people say about this at the reunion. When you get someone who's in one scene going, oh my God, you're my best friend. I would never do anything to you. I would never, ever do this thing. And then in the next scene, they do the thing on camera. And I'm looking at Lee like, reunion. Cannot wait for the reunion. And then they rob us of a reunion. What's the point of watching all of those episodes if we don't even get to see them or battle it out in like a hotel room with Andy Cohen? Or hotel room. It's like an airport hangar, it seems like, or like a warehouse. Anyway, so the reunion is the best part. And we had 3 parts to this reunion. I think 3 is the maximum. Hi, Christine. Welcome to my TED Talk about Scandival. 3 is the maximum I've ever seen. And usually Vanderpump Rules only gets 1 because it's just like a relatively small Bravo show and they have, a little bit of something. The big story of this season was going to be the fact that Raquel, I haven't even named her, Raquel, the woman who should not be named, the girl who kind of like the cheater, she was with puppy dog Tom. That was going to be the big thing of this season. Everyone's cross with Tom, everyone's cross with Raquel, because they were kissing. Thank you, Nikki. Don't even need to watch it anymore. They were kissing. Everyone's cross. This is not cool. That was going to be the big story. We would have had 1 reunion episode. Everyone would have argued. It's amazing. It's like live therapy and everyone just shouts at each other. It's my favorite. It's like gives me drama life. And then Scandival happened in March. All of a sudden, all of the cast start Instagramming, tweeting, this thing has happened. Within moments, it seemed like there was merch, there were memes. It was everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere. It was the best possible marketing for the reunions. They then put out an additional finale with additional information as soon as they found out that this cheating thing had happened. They'd already finished filming in September. Everything was boxed off and done. They then whipped out the cameras in March and they were in the same house. They're still, as far as I know, I don't know them personally, but as far as I know, sources say, and I'm the source, they're still living in the same house, even though he cheated on her. I don't get this. They're still living there, but they're kind of like away. I don't know. We will get to that, Rachel. So we saw them in the same house and she's like, so angry with him and they're having these conversations and the cameras were there. It was fantastic. Just brilliant. Everyone's crying. Everyone's so angry. Then you see the people that were cheating together in the weirdest intimate scene. Not intimate, but like together scene. Weirdest scene I've ever seen on TV. Strangest thing ever. And then Raquel, the cheater mistress, goes away for several weeks. The whole thing was just so bananas crazy. And then we get to the reunions, and there's 3 reunions, and we have to wait 3 weeks to watch them all. And last night, Lee and I finally got to watch the 3rd of the 3, and it did not disappoint because at the end of the reunion, because everyone's like, you're a terrible person, and he goes from hating, being like attacked and being like, I'm the victim. It's not actually that bad, to, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should have, she didn't deserve any of this, to horrible again. It was a real roller coaster of emotions. It's worth just watching the reunions, I think. And then at the very, very end, they do an extra little bit of something with the girl, Raquel, where she says she's going to give the real timeline. And this is after everything. It was best ending to a Bravo show I've ever seen, because it was a cliffhanger for next season, which is not done on reality TV. So she's like, well, Tom asked me not to say this because it'll cause a lot of problems and it will hurt people and blah, blah, blah. But, I feel like, it's, I don't want to be that person. And she said, like, they had sex in his house, which is obviously the house that he shared with his girlfriend of 9 years. She's like, well, it was going back to this time. So they had sex multiple times on that trip where she kissed the puppy dog, Tom. Bombshells. It was absolutely incredible. So, as it turns out, none of you actually watched this show. So I've given you a full rundown. And the one question I have received is from Rachel: don't you think the women always get all the hate while the man gets a light touch? I completely agree. Completely. Now, the thing I've got, because Raquel really did nothing wrong in the fact that she slept with. Am I writing another book, Caroline? Should I write a book about this? Raquel didn't do anything wrong in that she slept with a man that was in a relationship, but she wasn't in a relationship at the time. However, the hate that I have for Raquel, I don't really have hate. I don't know this woman, but my issue with her is that she was so two-faced, so incredibly two-faced. Like, she was on camera trying to get Ariana to break up. She was like, yeah, but do you really even like him anymore? At this point, she's having an affair with him. And she's like, yeah, but you should probably want to have sex with your partner. The whole thing was just insane. Just absolutely insane. The stuff that she was saying on camera, knowing what she was doing, was completely insane. So yes, I completely agree. Usually the woman does get a lot of hate. And I've actually seen a lot of hate for the woman who was cheated on, because she has coined it in. Since this happened, I don't know if you guys saw the Duracell advert, but it was perfection. Absolute perfection. He said in the reunion something like, I really looked after her. There were always pens in the drawer. There were always batteries in the drawer. He said the most ridiculous things. And so she's done a Duracell advert. And she's like, I can buy my own batteries. It's so good. She's done a few different kind of ad spots since then. She's on the front cover of Glamour magazine. People are responding to her, and there are a lot of people that don't like that, and they're like, well, I got cheated on, all I got was this, and she got like all of these sponsorship deals. I don't care, get it while you can. If the cheaters want to get sponsorship deals out of this, cool. This is how they make their money. They are reality stars. This is how they make their money. This is like their moment. Capitalize on it totally, whichever side you're on. But I have the issue that she was actually friends with this group, friends with all the girls, and she was just gaslighting them left and right. He just always seemed like a bad dude. I was not into him at all. I had no trust for that guy. So he's awful, really terrible. But she insinuated herself into this group, and it really genuinely feels like she thinks she didn't do anything wrong. That's the crazy part of it. And I think that is why she seems to be getting such hate. If you watch the show, she just actually seems like she doesn't understand what she did. I mean, the crazy part was one of the girls who stuck up for her all season, and like at the expense of other relationships that she had. One of the girls went on a show with her the night that it was the news broke. One of the girls was on Andy Cohen's show, Watch What Happens Live, which is basically a show after Bravo shows where they kind of have like a little talk show with some of the people that are on it usually, and other celebrities, but like a talk show about Bravo basically. And they were on this show together, and they came out. Raquel looks at her phone, and Sheena, the other girl, the girl who stuck up for her the entire season, she's like, oh, what's the matter? And Raquel looked at her and said, well, this is how Sheena says it. She says, well, me and Sandoval have been having an affair for about 7 months, and Ariana's just found out. Like, totally matter of fact. Like, it was nothing. Like, she didn't, again, this is just the way she, retells the story. Like, nothing. And she was like, what on earth? Anyway, she said she, like, took her phone, she, like, pushed her out of the way, Later on, Raquel said she punched her in the face and she got a restraining order. And so at the reunion, they weren't able to be in the same room at the same time. But on the day of the reunion, she said she was going she'd already like filed papers to have the restraining order lifted, and she really regretted doing that and blah, blah, blah. She was very apologetic. So that was really strange. And I wonder who told her to do that. The whole thing was just weird, just generally weird. But I do get the impression after watching all of it that Raquel, the mistress, she did it in a bid to cement herself on the show, like cement her place in the cast. And Sandoval's in a midlife crisis, potentially ruined her life, but I don't think he kind of like preyed on her and took her along for the ride. I think she knew this was never gonna, like, this is not gonna be forever. I think he was like, oh, you know, it's not really working. I should probably break up with her, but I haven't broken up with her yet. So she didn't think she was probably doing anything all that terrible, because she thought, well, this is a failing relationship anyway. It's at the end of its life. It doesn't really matter if I break them up, because they're obviously going to break up at some point. Why not make my name out of this? And I think she's gone into it like, I'm going to be the villain of this show. This is how I'm going to earn my living. I really, truly believe that that was her plan. Whether or not she thought she was going to be the villain, or she just thought, well, maybe they'll split up and then we'll be together and then that's how I'll be on the show all the time. I don't know, but I truly believe that is why she had the relationship with him, was to make sure she stayed on the show. Because after all of what happened, this is like months of internet abuse, which is horrible for anyone. But months of just like, this would be awful. The stuff people must be saying to her, I don't even want to know. Andy Cohen said to her, so would you like to come back next season? And she said, well, I want to. The whole thing is crazy. Why you would want to do that? Why would you want to put yourself through that? The only reason would be that you've already decided ahead of time that it's all worth it because this is going to be your career. Yes, Rachel. So I am with you. Usually, yes. And I do think she's got an incredible volume of hate. But if you just watch a little bit of it. And she never stopped smiling. Oh, and she was also a pageant queen. But she didn't win any. And then she cried. The only time all series that she cried was when she was crying about aging out of pageants, because she's like 28. But she didn't cry about any of the stuff that she'd done that was terrible. She was just like smiling. It's like demonic, I swear. Anyway, I'm really warm now. I've really worked myself up talking about this. So I think I am going to go and get in the bath. But you are very welcome. For those of you who've been reading stuff on Instagram about this and you wondered what was happening, I can only say you're welcome for my breakdown of the situation. Now you don't have to go back and watch it. Now you can just pick it up from season 10 as and when that comes out, which hope to God is soon, because please, please, please. I'm really hoping that we don't have to wait until the end of the year, but I have a bad feeling that will be the end of the year. I don't know if I want this at all. But I am a new full stan of Ariana. Also, I just felt so bad for her, because she, like, all season people were like, he's doing this, and she was like, no, I trust him completely. And afterwards people were saying, well, why did you ignore people who said this feels weird? She said, because why would I not? Like, he's my person. They've been together for a really long time. If someone said Leah cheated on me, I'd be like, I don't believe you. Give me some evidence, then we'll talk. But I don't believe you, because he wouldn't do that to me. And that is how you feel when you're in a committed, trusting relationship. He literally said if she'd wanted to find out, all she had to do was follow him. What? And since all of this has come out, because he's got multiple businesses, both of which are with Puppy Dog Tom, they've had so many really awful reviews on Yelp. It could make or break them. I mean, people could like go to do it to, like, you know, I've been to the Tom Tom restaurant, but also that's bad. Like, that there's investors involved in these relationships, and these like businesses. It's not a great situation. Anyway, oh my God, it's so warm. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this at all. I was just saying, my daughter's just gone on holiday. She's on holiday right now with her dad. And obviously it's only like 2 months till we go to Florida. And she was saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hack this. And I said, I'm in Doncaster and I have been too warm today. I'm going to need to start finding a way of being cooler because it's not working for me at all. On the plus side, I have been making a lot of cement jars today. So it's been a productive day. It has. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me on my Vanderpump Rules TED Talk. Next time, what I thought I might do, what might be fun, is because Lee and I usually have some conflict about these things. Next time it comes up, I might do some like weekly lives with Lee. Because if he'd not been busy doing this, I did think all week, I was like, shall we do a live? And I thought, I bet Lee will want to do it. Because he's got some opinions. He loves it. He loves drama of reality TV. He loves it. Although, sad news about Real Housewives of New York. Not really, because it needed to come to an end. It was getting uncomfortable. But really excited to watch Luann and Sonia's spin-off. Really, really. I'd like a Bravo podcast, really. That'd be fun. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for joining me, keeping me company. Let me get it all off my chest. Let me. I'm overheating. Also, I heard that if you're on antidepressants, you can overheat more, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Right, anyway, I'm going to go. And I promise I'll have regular videos again soon because I've been a bit lax on that front recently.